There's been a lot of attention paid to the asteroid Bennu. This is an asteroid that has a approximately 1 in 1800 chance to annihilate Earth in the next 300 years, but they also found organic molecules there. We can talk about it. Bennu is a massive asteroid that has a pretty close rotation to our Earth. It's approximately 500 meters across. If you're American, that's about 1,600 feet, or 91 giraffes, or one freakishly large one, or approximately 2,400 bananas. Normally, I would provide you guys with bananas to scale, but I don't feel like drawing out that many bananas. Normally, spacecraft would be sent to an asteroid like this, and it would come with spectroscopy equipment. However, with advances in engineering, we actually managed to get those samples back to Earth. This is something that really isn't done, and it's incredible that we managed to do that at all. These kinds of asteroids are of interest because a lot of people think that may be how we got water on Earth. Granted, that's a little bit of an older theory that asteroids collided with Earth and brought water with it. Although the discovery of things like a hydrous mineral layer, ringwoodite, in our Earth's mantle may mean that it came from us all along. It was just squeezed out of hydrous minerals. This is supported with what probably happened to Mars. Mars didn't actually lose its liquid water, it's just when it didn't have volcanic activity, liquid water could no longer exist on the planet. This is supported by some more recent discoveries with Mars, that it probably never lost its water. Rather, once Mars lost most of its volcanic activity, liquid water could no longer exist. Volcanic activity may well be required for liquid water. Otherwise, it just turns into minerals. That's essentially a mineral with an OH on it. Not actually a liquid, but could be a liquid. On Bennu, they found 14 of the 20 amino acids that we use here on Earth. They also found the building blocks, the organic components, that could be used to make nucleotides. This has a lot of interesting implications for life. Now, I covered some of the recent advances and how DNA was formed. Turns out silica is required, and probably lightning. There's a joke in there somewhere about computers having made us and then we made computers, but do acknowledge it's just a joke. I find the inclusion of silica as a necessary component to make DNA to be fantastic. We nearly forgot the sands at our feet. Just because we personally do not use silica doesn't mean it's not important. They did find evidence on the rock that it could have salt water. This may be important because we think that life on Earth developed in salty water, although that's a little bit complex. Some experiments have demonstrated that UV is necessary, which would have suggested that it did not happen in the hydrothermal vents but closer to the surface, but it's still hotly debated. Just because we found life's ingredients on the rock does not really mean that this is definitely how life occurred. Now, some would say that finding life's ingredients on a rock floating through space provides evidence for panspermia, but there are several problems with that. DNA is pretty darn stable, but it's not that stable. I know from my research that it can survive 30 years just in soil, in the elements, and that has some implications for crime scene investigations. But it's not going to survive crashing through the atmosphere, unless it was a very, very large rock and it was very close to the center of it and it didn't get that damaged. Kind of like how we have astronauts come back to Earth, that is possible. But we have no reason to think that life came to Earth from external means. We've demonstrated that we have the stuff required for life that occurs naturally on our planet. That doesn't mean it couldn't happen in other places. In fact, with us, if we're able to get far enough into the universe, we might accidentally seed other planets with life. Now, I'm quite sure there are aliens out there. It's a statistical impossibility that they aren't. I just don't think we've talked to them. The universe is so vast. Chances are if we ever do meet aliens, we're not going to meet them, we're going to meet their technology. Now, there are some interesting trade-offs there. So we have a relatively high mutation rate, and animals that are near immortal, like Greenland sharks or some kinds of trees, have very efficient DNA repair mechanisms. If you want to evolve to be hyper-intelligent, you're probably going to want to, evolve and not end up as a living fossil. That means that our hyper-intelligent brains on this planet, at least, also give us a shortened lifespan. The ability to have mutations is directly correlated with aging. So if aliens ever meet us, they may not meet us, they may meet our technology. Either way, this is a really exciting finding. And also, I hope that rock doesn't hit us in the next 300 years.